Over the offseason, we really wanted to bring in guys that had experience, that could offer that, and then just a group of guys that we thought could compete in the Big 12 at that level. So as of right now, there's a lot of competition, I think, which is a good thing for us, and it's really kind of bringing out the best in everybody.
Maybe the most competition in recent
I would
years
say
because
so.
of so much added in the move to Big 12.
Yeah, I would say so. Since I've been here, we kind of knew who was going to play.
Right.
First year, Marcus and Pepe, like they were going to be out there. G. Owens and Art, they were going to be out there. So, like we got a bunch of new faces kind of mixed in with some guys that have been here. So I think it's going to be a pretty good group.
Sort of answers, but with the corner specifically, you feel like there are a lot of interchangeable parts.
Yeah, that's the one thing I like about it is there's a lot of wiggle room. Alex Hogan played it at Tech when he was first there. Really hasn't played it here, but now I think he can play that for us. Malik Fleming, who's played a bunch of positions at ECU, I think is somebody else that can do it, and he kind of offers something a little bit different than Hogan at that position. And then I think we could, end up moving Jalen Emery in there as well because he's repped. So the amount of guys there I like at the position, and I think they each offer something different.
So 2 guys we've heard a lot from Dana, Adari, Halsey, and you smile. What comes to mind when you
He's a very good player, and I think he's going to continue to get better.
He seemed like, from what Dan was saying, this guy's not
yeah, he is and he's a football player. Like when you just picture a football player, as far as how they approach the game, how they come into the building, in the meeting rooms, like that's what they look like. So I'm extremely happy that we got him.
And then the other one was Isaiah Hamilton, was sort of just what he did at Texas Southern.
Yeah, he's a very athletic player. He can make a bunch of different plays, and he has some length out there. So I'm really excited for him to see what he can do throughout camp. The one thing with all the new guys is, they played a lot of ball, but when you come here and you have to relearn the culture and the defense, like you're a freshman again. So I think just part of it is all those guys, just how quick can they pick up on the learning curve, and I think they've all done a pretty good job. The athleticism is not something I'm worried about. It's just how quick can they become essentially veterans again in the scheme. So
knowing what you had, did that help maybe lessen the move of Hassan? Taking away from your rooms. But.
Yeah, because we got a lot of people in the back end that are really similar to him as a football player. The one thing you don't want is to have a bunch of guys that are very similar at one position. So, and I think he's a really good box defender. I think he can play safety as well. But we probably may be able to squeeze a little bit more juice out of him down there. But he's still our captain, leader. And say we had to move him back, I don't think there would be any issue with doing that since he's played so much back there. So,
what has the process been like so far, sort of getting the secondary group ready for some of the offensive attacks in the Big 12?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to play some teams that are a little bit more spread out. But I think when you look at the group of guys that we have, I think it kind of plays better into our hand. I think we have the run fitters, but I think we got a little bit more coverage guys. And, just generally speaking, I think that's a little bit more of the Big 12's identity. So I think I think the guys are heading in the right direction. Still got a lot of work to do, but I think we'll get there.
Is there, how does a guy like Brian Short see these guys, they come in, you got Power 5 experience, but when you get a hold of them, you sort of get an idea of
he's a guy that when you just look at playing the game of football, he's played a lot of ball. So you're not really coaching him on how to take on blocks, set edges, seeing certain things. One of the other things too, if you look at us in past years, we haven't really been that big out wide. So I think Moses, they provide a lot of length out there, which I think is going to be beneficial for us. The only thing I'll just revert back to is just how quick can he learn what we do specifically on defense, but I think it'll help.
Did having a good chunk of them were here in the spring, so did that sort of help
that helped a lot. That helped a lot just when they were here spring ball, being able to, get first introduced to the defense, and then just kind of re-hitting everything that we've done. So it's really been good to get that head start. You know, we don't really install everything in the spring though, so there will be some things that are new to them in camp, but I think they'll be just fine. So.
Well, we always ask you about your players. What about you? Did you do anything cool? Was also you go fishing with Archie, or you do anything like
nah,
that?
So over the break though, I found my old phone and there was a lot of old fishing pictures on there, so I sent them. And ever since I sent them, he hasn't really said anything to me. So,
So that's kind of like a mic drop.
yeah. So I'll drop the mic on that one. But what I will say is, when I'm home, I really didn't catch anything. So those are times past.
How long has it been? 'Cause he goes
Well,
every-
I have fished. I just have not been doing a lot of catching. So that's the issue. So all the big fish and all that stuff, those are kind of pastime stories. I need to get better.